Hey guys, today I'm going to be attempting to make a flatbread out of cauliflower. So as you can see right here, I've got my Gourmia toaster oven, air fryer, and dehydrator combo set to dehydrate. That's an 8-hour process at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. And as you can see, I got it layered out with 3 separate pieces. I've riced the cauliflower, and we're going to try dehydrating that and then grinding it into a fine powder. So I'll come back to you when we have more to say. Right, so I just got back from work. It's been about 5 hours, 15 minutes, and this is a little on the well side, so I'd probably try doing this again at 4 hours, see how that goes. Or even 3. We're going to turn this off and take it on out. Again, this is my Gourmia, and we're using the dehydrating function. So I'm going to try to grind this up into a bit of a flour next. So I'm on to my next step. I'm taking my mortar and pestle, and I'm not going to do all of it at once. I'm going to take small batches. If you have like a stone grinder automated, you can of course use that. And as you can see, grind that a bit. Alright, so as you can see, it's a bit better ground now. And what we're going to be looking to do is maybe try to get that a little bit finer after it's had a little more time to set. And we're going to try to see if we can't make a simple little flatbread out of the cauliflower here. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken the cauliflower, I've ground it all up into a powder, or for the most part a powder. It's still a little chunky in some spots, and then I threw it back in the dehydrator for a bit. We're going to see if we can get it a bit finer by letting it sit for a while. Alright. If you're enjoying this sort of content, if you want to see more like it, be sure to subscribe. So you get updated whenever I release more content. Depending on how this turns out, I might continue to work on this recipe. I'm also working on a quinoa stuffing recipe, and I'm really hoping to continue along this path I've been going on. So thanks. Hey guys, so alright, so my next step is to heat some milk and butter. That's a very small amount. I'm doing a quarter of the recipe I found. The website it's on is Recipe 10 Eats. And again, because I've never made a flatbread before, so my what I'm making here, original so far, is just my flour. So we're going to see how my flour turns up to a traditional flatbread recipe. Alright, so we're going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon to our half cup of flour, and kind of mix that in. That was salt there. Then we're going to throw just under a tablespoon of butter, and less than 50 milliliters of milk onto the stove until that dissolves and blends. Alright, as you can see, that's now dissolved and blended. To blend it, you really just got to give it a little swirl like that occasionally while it's heating. It doesn't take more than a minute, really, on a low heat, or sorry, medium heat. Alright, so make sure that's swirled in. And now that we have the flour and the salt, we're going to add the milk and butter. we're going to mix that together as thoroughly as we can. That's a little too dry still, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Again, because we're not using traditional flour, this is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, I've added just a tiny bit of the butter and very small amount of milk, not even enough to cover the bottom of the pan. That should bring us up just above 50, maybe 55 milliliters, and a full tablespoon of butter. And I ended up adding a little bit more just because I had, wanted to try to speed this along. And we're going to mix that in. Alright, I've doubled the milk and butter again, and this time I'm adding a bit of an egg because it's not achieving a doughy consistency. And I had to add so much milk and butter because of the dehydration process. It made it unusually dry compared to regular flour, but as you can see, that's getting a little bit better. And add a little more dry flour to that. Alright, so I don't know how this is going to be compared to a traditional flatbread. We're going to start heating up a pan and put it in there. Alright, we've switched over to the stove. I've already got it on heat, and it's starting to smell like it's browned a little. It might be a little burned actually. Hold on, I'll see if I can't get under this thing. Alright, I'm going to remove it from the heat. Have a good cohesion, so, and I might have burned it a little. Although that texture might not be bad for pizza crust. We'll have to see how that goes. So far, it might be a little underdone, but that's what I've got for a cauliflower quinoa pizza crust sort of idea. If anybody knows anything that might help the recipe come along, I think next time I'm just going to throw it in the oven with some pizza toppings and see how that comes out. But have any ideas, let me know. Definitely tastes like cauliflower. All right, have a nice day.